Picture this. You are handed the keys to the most iconic football nation on the planet. A country where football is not just a sport, it is a religion. Where 5 World Cup trophies sit in the cabinet, and a 6th has been the national obsession for over 2 decades. The last time Brazil lifted that trophy was 2002. That's 24 years of waiting, 24 years of heartbreak, a humiliating 7-1 on home soil in 2014, quarterfinal exits in 2018 and 2022. And now, they've handed the job to a 66-year-old Italian man who has never coached a national team in his life. His name? Carlo Ancelotti. And today we are going to break down everything. Who he is, what he's building, how he's doing it differently, and the million-dollar question. Can he actually deliver Brazil's 6th star? Welcome to Football Detailing, and let's get started. Before we talk about Ancelotti the man, we need to understand what he walked into. Brazil, the Seleção, is the most decorated national team in World Cup history. 5 titles, 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, 2002. No other nation has won more than 4. Brazil is also the only country to have played in every single World Cup since 1930. All 22 editions, not one absence. That is a record that belongs to them alone. Here is the brutal truth. Since 2002, that greatness has felt like a distant memory. They hosted the 2014 World Cup, their own backyard, and got demolished 7-1 by Germany in the semifinal. One of the most shocking results in football history. Then came 2018, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Belgium. Then 2022, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Croatia on penalties, with Neymar in tears. 3 consecutive quarterfinal exits or worse. A nation with 5 stars on the shirt, and they cannot get past the last 8. By the time Ancelotti arrived in May 2025, Brazil were sitting 4th in the South American World Cup qualifying table. The CBF had already fired Dorival Jr. after a humiliating 4-1 loss to Argentina. Confidence was low. Patience was gone. The pressure was volcanic. This is the job they gave to Carlo Ancelotti.
So who exactly is this man? Carlo Ancelotti is, by almost every objective measure, the most decorated club coach in the history of football. Let's run the numbers. He is the only manager in history to win the UEFA Champions League 5 times. 2 with AC Milan in 2003 and 2007, 3 with Real Madrid in 2014, 2024, and 2024. 5 Champions League titles. Nobody else has more than 3. But it doesn't stop there. He is also the only manager in history to win league titles in all 5 of Europe's top divisions: Serie A in Italy, La Liga in Spain, the Bundesliga in Germany, Ligue 1 in France, and the Premier League in England. That feat is completely unprecedented. No other coach in history has done it. In total, he accumulated over 36 major trophies as a coach before taking the Brazil job. He became the most successful manager in Real Madrid's entire history, a club that has existed for over 120 years. Born in 1959 in a small town in Italy called Reggiolo, Ancelotti was a highly intelligent midfielder as a player. He won 2 Serie A titles with Roma and then moved to AC Milan, where he won 2 European Cups as a player in 1989 and 1990 under the legendary Arrigo Sacchi, who would deeply shape his coaching philosophy. He began his coaching career as an assistant with the Italian national team in 1992, helping them reach the 1994 World Cup final. Then he went on a club coaching journey that took him from Juventus to AC Milan, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli, Everton, and back to Real Madrid. And now, for the first time in his career, he is coaching a national team. Not just any national team, Brazil. He made history from day one. He became the first permanent foreign manager ever appointed to lead the Brazilian national team. In over 100 years of Brazilian football, no foreign coach had been given the top job. Until now.
Now let's get to the heart of this video.
what is Ancelotti actually doing differently? Because Brazil have had plenty of good coaches. Luis Felipe Scolari won them the 2002 World Cup. Tite built a solid team for 2018 and 2022, but something always fell short at the critical moment. So what makes Ancelotti different? Number one, he doesn't impose a system. He builds around his players. Most modern elite coaches, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, are known for having a rigid, non-negotiable playing philosophy. You adapt to them. With Ancelotti, it is the opposite. He adapts to you. He has used the 4-3-3, the 4-4-2, the 4-2-3-1, and variations in between throughout his career. Whatever maximizes the talent available to him. With Brazil, who have world-class attacking players in Vinícius Júnior, Raphinha, Rodrygo, and Neymar, this is huge. Previous coaches sometimes struggled to fit all this talent onto the pitch. Ancelotti's system fits around the stars, not against them. Number two, his man management is on another level. Ancelotti himself has said it best. My leadership style is flexible. I'm not a dictator. I'm an ordinary person who likes to live in a calm environment. When you are calm, you get the most out of others. At Real Madrid, he managed a dressing room containing Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, some of the biggest egos in world football, and he kept them all unified and winning. He treats players as human beings first and football players second. He gets to know them personally. He asks about their families, their concerns, their ambitions. That emotional intelligence is rare at the highest level of coaching. Vinícius Júnior, who knows Ancelotti better than any other Brazil player from their time together at Real Madrid, has spoken about how much the coach trusts him and gives him freedom to express himself. That trust is everything for a player like Vini. Number three, he introduced calm where there was chaos. Brazilian football in the years before Ancelotti was anything but calm. Coaching changes, political chaos within the CBF, public squabbles, player controversies. Ancelotti walked in and immediately lowered the temperature. No drama, no public spats.
Just work. He has said plainly, I knew about the passion here, but living it is different. When Brazil play, the country stops. He understood the emotion, but he refused to be consumed by it. Number four, he changed Brazil's mindset from best players to one team. This is perhaps the most significant shift. In his own words, I want players who think they want to be in the World Cup to win, not to be the best. Previous Brazil squads sometimes had the feeling of a collection of individuals, stars trying to outshine each other. Ancelotti has been direct. The collective goal is the World Cup. Everything else is secondary.
So how is Brazil actually playing under Ancelotti? His preferred structure with Brazil has been the 4-2-3-1, though he has also experimented with the 4-3-3. The 4-2-3-1 gives him a double pivot in midfield, typically Casemiro and Bruno Guimarães, to protect the defense and recycle the ball, while a creative number 10 or attacking midfielder sits behind the striker. Here is the critical tactical shift Ancelotti has made, and Vinícius Júnior himself confirmed it. We're going to defend very well and try to hit on the counterattack. That's what the coach always asks from us. Now, for people who grew up watching the Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game, those words might sound uncomfortable. Brazil playing on the counterattack? Defending well as a priority? But here's the context. This is not a betrayal of Brazilian football. It is a correction of a weakness that has cost Brazil at multiple World Cups. Brilliant attacking talent without defensive organization is a recipe for heartbreak, as 2014 painfully proved. Ancelotti is giving Brazil a tactical backbone without suffocating their attacking flair. The goal is freedom within structure. Express yourself, but know your position. Attack with joy, but be solid without the ball. His squad selection also tells a story. For the 2026 World Cup, Ancelotti named 26 players that include a blend of experience and explosive youth. 11 players over the age of 30,
showing he is leaning on experience for the biggest stage. He brought back Casemiro from Manchester United, included Neymar despite the injury concerns, added the informed Brentford striker Igor Thiago, who scored 22 Premier League goals, and trusted the Arsenal contingent of Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli. The message is clear. He wants a complete squad, not just an attacking showcase. Now, let's be honest and talk about the challenges. Ancelotti's record with Brazil so far reads 5 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats in 10 matches, including a 2-1 loss to France. That is not a dominant record by any means, but context matters. He only took charge in May 2025. He had to first focus on qualifying for the World Cup, which Brazil secured, before building towards the tournament itself. The competition at the 2026 World Cup is fierce. Argentina, the defending champions, are battle-hardened. France have world-class players at every position. Germany will be dangerous on home soil. North American soil. England are serious contenders. This is the hardest World Cup field in decades. And then there was the Neymar question. At 34, Brazil's all-time leading scorer with 79 goals, more than even Pelé, is a major inclusion in the squad. He has battled injuries since his ACL in 2023. Ancelotti included him because he believes in his quality and his leadership for what will likely be Neymar's final World Cup, but his fitness is a genuine concern. There were also questions about whether Brazil's defensive organization can hold up against elite teams with sustained pressure, something the 4-2-3-1 can be vulnerable to if the midfield pivot is overworked. Here is why optimism is justified. Ancelotti has done what no other coach in history has done at club level. He has won in the most high-pressure environments with the biggest expectations against the best opponents. He has shown that experience under the heaviest scrutiny actually sharpens his decision-making, not dulls it. He has Vinícius Júnior, who many consider the best player in the world right now. He has Raphinha in the form of his life. He double pivot that can protect and a front line that can destroy. And perhaps most importantly, he has the dressing room. Players trust him. And in a tournament where pressure can break the tightest squads, a unified, trusted team with a calm, experienced hand at the wheel is worth more than tactics alone.
So, is Ancelotti the man for the most pressured job in football? The evidence says yes. Not because he's a magician, but because he has spent 30 years mastering exactly the skills this job demands. Managing elite egos, adapting tactics to world-class talent, winning when the stakes are impossibly high, and keeping calm when an entire nation is screaming. Brazil have waited 24 years for the 6th star. They have gone through heartbreak after heartbreak, and for the first time in a very long time, they have a coach who has actually stood on the biggest stage and won. Whether that translates to a World Cup, we will see. But one thing is certain. Carlo Ancelotti has given Brazil something they were missing for years: hope. And in this game, hope backed by a man who has won 5 Champions Leagues is a very powerful thing. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to Football Detailing, and drop in the comments. Do you think Ancelotti can deliver Brazil's 6th star? Let's debate it down there. See you in the next one.